Yeah. So I don't have to worry about it. Okay. It's fun. You got super quiet in here. What's going on? You're sitting tied out, right? All right. Well, good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? Thank you so much for being here. Hey, can you believe that we're in March? Welcome back. Yeah, it's so close.
It's my neighbor, it's from this other house.
Yeah.
So what a great way to build rapport.
Yeah. Come back. Hope you had an enjoyable time. So you guys all ready to get started?
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Yeah.
So, you know how we started here at South Bay? Our mission is to provide agents with a place where they will be empowered, trained, and motivated to experience growth, the legacy that allows them to live their best life possible. Our belief. When the values of your company align with your own beliefs, you know you found your professional home. Our vision. To achieve amazing professionals and personal development so that KW remains the agency of. So always give yourself a round of applause, please. I'm honored to have all of you as part of this South Bay office. So thank you for being here. All right, Matt, next slide, please. All right, let's welcome our third sponsor. This is Hilton. Let's get her. Come on down. Doesn't she have a great setup?
Yeah.
I guess what I see her all the time, her husband out at the affairs. They're everywhere. Well, thank you for being here and thank you again for providing us with lunch.
Thank you for having me. Well, I'm Francine. Francine Wilson, like the hotel, but no relation. So, like you guys, I got to work too, okay? But you might be wondering, like, what do knives have to do with real estate? So Forbes actually did a study, and they said that if you invest just 5% more into your business, it can positively influence your business by up to 75%. Right? Some simple changes that could really change the trajectory of your business. You guys know NAR, right? So can you guess after just 2 years, what percent of people can even name their agent after 2 years? Take a guess. 13%, 13. Oh, you know, it's Steve. It was perfect. It's only about 13% after 2 years, right? So what systems can you do to change that number for your business? One of the areas was in gifting. Popular gifts you've seen given, bottles of wine, gift cards, baskets, and we all enjoy those gifts. But what happens to them once we enjoy them? They're gone, they're eaten, drank, spent. So leaving a long-term value for that relationship. What we do is we take the Cutco product. Who here, by the way, has Cutco or used the Cutco clothing gift program? The beautiful, smart people with their hands raised. If your hand wasn't up, I'm here to help. So Cutco, it's been around for over 75 years. It's like the Bentley or Rolls Royce of high-end things for your kitchen or home. What we do is take the Cutco product, engrave your name, logo, contact info on there. We can even customize it for your client to put, made especially for the Garcia family or the Smith family. You can put your name and logo and put, sharpest realtor in town, your cutting edge realtor, put cutting my commission, whatever you like. What's good about that is once you engrave them, it makes your gifts legally 100% tax deductible. Do you guys know what the IRS typically allows you to write off for closing gifts? It's only $25 per client. $25. What can you buy for $25 these days as a gift, right? So our goal is to help you take the money you're already spending and divert it more strategically for your business. So great closing gifts. They're also great gifts for your family, friends, anniversaries, your sphere. Imagine being able to give your clients a gift when they've been in their home on their 1, 2, or 3-year anniversary. And, customizing with made especially for or your realtor for life. And now that they're settled in their home and you remember their anniversary, what a way to stand out, right? for your client. That's what it's all about. So you might be thinking, do my clients want a knife for their gift? Are they gonna like it? Well, we did the research for you and we found two things to be true. One is all of your clients have a kitchen and they all eat food. So that's how you're gonna use it. Okay? I'm sorry? Well, what we do for that, we do have non-knife gifts as well. We also have penny inserts that you can include, so it doesn't cut the tie of that relationship. Okay? The most popular gifts are gonna range from about $100 to $300, and we find that's what you're already spending. So again, it's just diverting your funds more strategically. So what we do is set you up for about a 6 to 12 month supply of gifts. That way your gifts are ready on hand. Say you need 6 gifts for the next 12 months. We send you all 6 and you just pay for 1 per month. Now it's easy to slide into the budget. Say you need 20 gifts. Again, we split over 6 or 12 months. So it's super easy to slide into the budget. It's about the system in place for your business. I know some of you guys want more information on the closing gift program or to re-up on your gifts. So that's why I'm here today. I do like to, reward people for taking action. So when it comes down to it, you don't know if the clients that you're working with, are they going to use you again, refer you to their family and friends? Are they going to use the agent next door? Right? So what systems are you going to put in place to ensure that we work with them long term and capitalize on that relationship? For those of you who want to get started for the first time or reload on your gifts, what I'm going to do for you today is lock you down for half price engraving, which is good for today and all future orders with me. Also, you're going to get your quantity discounts. And on top of that, I brought a goodie bag. You get to pick a piece of Cutco for my goodie bag to take home with you today. But I only brought 5 goodies. So the reason I did that is I have to pick up my kids from school today, so I can't stay here all night long. But brought 5 goodies. So for the first 5 who want to take advantage, you'll get the quantity discounts, the half price engraving, and to pick from our goodie bag today. So that I know to save you a spot, pull out your handy dandy devices. And for those of you who just want info on the program, I'll email you that info. I'm gonna give you my cell phone number. Don't text me quite yet. But just open your TrextSeat app and type in my number. It's 562-715-8863. Again, 562-715-8863. If you just want info on the program, just text me your name and email so I can send you some info on the general program itself. If you want to be one of the 5, also with your, I'm sorry.
The number
562-715-8863. Okay, if you want to be one of the 5 when you text me, also include with your name and email, include the words "I'm in," so I know to save you a spot. Thank you for having me today and have a sharp day.
Awesome, thank you. Cutting my commission. That's a good one, right? Who wants to get their commissions cut? None of us, right? Yeah. Good information. One thing that I probably share with you. If you didn't hear, I gave Francine her first opportunity to talk in one of our sales meetings. She was a little nervous. She's come a long way since then. So yeah, she was the first to do a presentation for Cutco. So it was really nice to have her here and present to you. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. We're in the month of March. Happy anniversary to all of the amazing agents on this list. Look at the big list of agents. So if you're on this list, thank you for being part of KW South Bay. Next slide. And now we have all of the birthdays. Look at the list of birthdays. Wow, we got a lot of agents in the month of March. So if you're on this list, please stand up. Any of you on March? No March here. Interesting. There's probably one or two. To you. Anyone else? March? Wow, interesting. Okay, typically get 2 to 3 people that are, I'm here, happy birthday. So again, if you happen to see or know any of the agents, please make sure to wish them a wonderful happy birthday. Okay, next slide, please. Just a couple of great things that the ALC, every month, we meet with our Agent Leadership Council. And part of the growth committee, they wanted to launch to get to know your fellow agents, but more so get to know a little bit of ALC. What is ALC? Well, ALC stands for Agent Leadership Council. To be part of the ALC, you have to be one of the top 20% of the office, meaning you got to do production. And you qualify. Now, it's not a salary or salary-based position, it's a volunteer position, but it really gives you the leadership skills to know the internal aspects of the office. We talk of financials, we talk about the trends, we talk about growth, we talk about agents coming in, agents coming out, and they spearhead, right? Because of Keller Williams being an open book company, we talk about the financials and the vitals of the company as well. So ALC wanted to create something special for all of the agents, was an open house, happy hour, lead, grow, and succeed. So on Thursday, March 20th, from 4 to 6 p.m. here at the Agent Lounge, we're going to be hosting our first for the year happy hour. Who's in? Yeah, isn't that exciting? This is me, Ricky Todd. And if you know anyone outside of Keller Williams that wants to come and kind of check the vibe here, it's open to everyone. Oh, there's Michelle. Michelle, come out here. Yeah, let's give Michelle a round of applause. And something, sir, while we're going to do a moment with Michelle. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, thank you for spearheading this. So tell us a little bit of the reason
So
about
the
this.
agency is the Agent Leadership Council. I don't know if all of you know, that's kind of a mini board of directors. Gary Keller set up for the company for all of the franchises many years ago. The top 20% of the agents that are in the office because he wants to keep the company agent centric. Can you guys hear me out there? I am from Texas, I can talk a little louder.
Please.
So the Agent Leadership Council, every one of us that sits on the council is responsible for a committee like the flyers you got for the luxury brunch and learn. And there's a growth committee and there's a financial committee because we are an open book company. And we decided the other day in our meeting that probably a lot of you don't know any of us very well and know that we all need help with our committees as well. And so we decided to do an open house kind of happy hour so that all you guys could come in and have some beer and wine or sparkling water, whiskey or whatever. So we got out there and get to know all of us that are on that council and what the committees are about and how you can help serve on them. So please come, it'll be so much fun.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I am obedient.
Yes, you are. Thank you. Thank you. I just threw it last minute. And, oh my God, I should have one of the AOCs talk about it. So thank you again, Michelle, for doing this. Just a couple notes here. Family reunion unlocked. Catch selected insights and stuff from family reunion. So there was a lot of things that we talked last week, right? We had a panelist of agents that went out to Las Vegas and some of the biggest nuggets that they pick up. Well, now you can visit the site and hear the CEO Summit highlights, Gary Vision's speech, the 10 bold truths, the one thing with Jay Papasan, and so much more. So pull out your phones, take a photo of this, and take advantage of everything that Family Reunion provided. So I'll leave it up for a couple seconds before we go on to the next slide. Right? Yes. Yes, sir. I'll move it here. And if you don't hear me back there, please just say, Simon, I can't hear you. I'll make sure to raise up my voice. Okay. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. Agent Cab. I'm so excited about this. It's happening for the first time in my 11 years with the company in San Antonio, Texas. So I'm super excited. It's always in Austin, Texas. Now they're gonna have it in San Antonio. So if you're interested, August 11th through the 14th in San Antonio. Tickets are now $9.99. Okay, so if you're interested, it's a great experience. One of the two biggest events is family reunion that just happened, and then mega camp that's happening in the summer. So if you're interested, want to get some information, please scan the QR code and get more information. Again, some of the top agents, mastermind, get to hear Gary and all of the fun stuff that mega camp has to offer. Okay. Matt's events that are happening as well, March 11th, we have digital profit camp, critical conversations in real estate with Phil Jones, and coaching skills camp. Okay, a lot of agents that are top agents, performing agents that want to do more will take a skills camp, and that'll be May 29th through the 30th, Austin, Texas. All right, next slide. Also, we have podcast network. Sign up and receive weekly newsletter. What's so cool about the Millionaire Real Estate Agent podcast is they interview some of the top agents in the nation. Okay. And you'll hear agents from California, Arizona, Nevada, Texas, Florida, New York, that they hand select and have a conversation similar to what we have here, right? Producer's Mindset, where we interview one agent on a Friday and we just have a conversation about business, you know, how they got into business. Well, these are individuals too at a very high level on what they're doing. These are individuals that are doing 50, 60, 80 million, 40, 50 units of sales. So I encourage you to jump on these podcasts to get fueled and get energized. Okay, thanks, Nat. Next slide. Okay, just some more stuff. Visit the hub or listen on your favorite streaming. Okay. Also, I think that like the CEOs are great too. It's all Gary Keller talking about the vision of the company and all the fun stuff that is happening with it. The one thing too, it's a great book to read. If you haven't read it, I encourage you. But there's also a podcast on that as well. Okay, next slide. Spring social 31 social media prompts for you. So part of what you have and part of building your business is all of the opportunities that you have within KW Command. So take advantage, you know, spring, I think this weekend, right? Spring forward, I think change of time. So take advantage of all of the social medias that you can syndicate and send out to your clients as well, just as a reminder. Next slide. And Keller Inc., the official Spanish translation is coming soon. So for your Latinos, Hispanics, or Spanish-speaking individuals, now they're creating the Millionaire Real Estate book in Espanol, which is really good because it gives you the practical models and systems now for people that want to understand it in Spanish. So it's great to see this. So if you're interested in getting a book, they're pre-ordering now for the 2025 launch. Next slide. Okay, I want to introduce our guest speaker for today. We have Derek and Keith Brewer with B2 Insurance Services. Let's give them a round of applause. Are you guys twins? We are. So, well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here. Take it away. You know, I know we have a lot of questions regarding insurance, the fires, cancellations. So open mic after. If you have any questions, please start jotting them down as well.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Keith Brewer, one of the founders of B2 Insurance. My twin brother, Derek Brewer. So we're locally in Redondo Beach, and we've been in business for over 20 years, and we've seen a lot of things in the insurance industry, but quite haven't seen a market like this. Anyone here had an escrow held up because they couldn't find insurance? Their clients couldn't get insurance? Sure, it's happening out there. So why are we in this situation? How come this is even happening? One of the first things was COVID-19. People went home. The Department of Insurance wanted to protect the consumers and not raise rates. Everyone went back to work, started driving, getting more in accidents. Then we had the other fires in Agoura Hills. which caused all the carriers a lot of losses. And now we just had the recent fires, Palisades, Altadena, and these last fires, State Farm just came out, they're losing $7.6 billion. Okay, they're looking for a bailout. That may or may not happen. It's up to the Department of Insurance, but good thing is that they're captive and we're not, we're brokers. So we have many carriers. We have over 20 plus carriers we could go to. A lot of carriers are coming into the market, new carriers that have maybe a few limitations here or there, but hey, we could get your clients insurance, no problem. That being said, our top carriers are Mercury and Bamboo's another one, Lightspeed. If worse comes to worse, we always have the California Fair Plan. No one wants to go to the California Fair Plan, but hey, if that's what it has to be, that's what it has to be. And just so you know, the Fair Plan only covers fire. It doesn't cover liability or water damage. So that's one thing you have to know if your clients are having to go with California Fair Plan. But that being said, for you guys, the most important thing is that your clients, immediately when you open escrow, they go get quotes from the current broker, the current agent, us, whoever it may be, because it can take a while. It could be 2 to 3 weeks. If it has to be referred to underwriting, that policy could hold you up from closing. So that's the first step, is get insurance quote, and not just a quote, make sure it's an approved quote all the way through the end. A lot of agents will just quote it up real quick, here's your rate, and you think it's all good to go, and then you say, yeah, let's move forward. Then 2 weeks later, oh, it has to be referred to underwriting. So make sure it's a hard, firm quote that your clients are getting. And let's talk about what carriers want now. Carriers want pride of ownership. Okay, roofs that are over 30 years old, no go. The carriers have AI, they're pulling permits, they're using Google to look at the top of the roof to see if there's water stains or peeling shingles and chip paint, no good. So there's 4 major things: is the roof, plumbing, galvanized plumbing is no good anymore. They need copper or copper light. That's what they want to see. Also, electrical panels is huge right now. If you have Federal Pacific Stablock, Challenger, Sylvania, those are no good. Electrical panels have to be updated. It's going to cost the client $5,000. So I guess that's one thing you got to talk about with the seller or buyer's agent. Who's going to update the panels? Who's going to update the roof? These are things that need to be taken care of for insurance purposes. And so those are pretty big things. Derek, you want to chime in?
Yeah, and just speaking about the separate carriers that we have, we're going to give your clients options. So Lightspeed is a Lloyd's of London product, and they are limiting the water damage to either 0 or some policies, depending where they are, they'll give up to 100,000 on water damage. Not a lot of coverage. So what can we do to help them out? Well, we're going to recommend that they get a water detection shutoff valve. Okay, one that actually shuts the water off and measures the water, and it shuts the water off. So hopefully you don't have that big water claim. Okay, it's managed on their phone. So if the thing does trip up, you can always turn the water back on. All right, but it's, if you want to do Lloyd's of London, and it's going to be comparable to the rates now. State Farm gave a bunch of rates for, let's just say, a home that was 1,800 square feet. State Farm was doing those under $2,000. Well, Lightspeed is going to do them for $2,000 as well with that water limitation. Or we're going to go to Bamboo. You're going to look at 4,000, 3,000. So I mean, a lot of people are getting sticker shock, but it's just the age of the new era. Do we see rates coming back at all, even with more carriers coming into the market? No, absolutely not. You're not going to go to what they used to be. So now you have a story to tell your clients. Why is this happening? Well, the fires, and it's not only the fires. Like with the invent of technology that's going into these cars, the Teslas, cameras, backup bumpers that used to cost $500 to replace or $2,000 to replace, and they're still backing up and hitting people. We didn't need all that. So, but we have it, right? We can't go backwards. So that they're already losing money on the business of auto insurance. Now you had the fires, so no, rates are not going backwards. Not happening.
I think at this time it's probably good to open it up for some questions. If you guys have any questions about insurance. Yeah. The difference between us and other insurance companies, we're known as brokers. So we're able to shop multiple different carriers out there. Whereas State Farm, they're captive. They only have State Farm policy, or Allstate. They only have State Farm. So if corporate decides to leave California like they did, we still have options where they don't have options. And we don't charge broker fees, we shop all the policies out, but, yeah, we're not an agency that charges broker fees to the clients. Plumbers, your local plumber. Yeah. And also the carriers get a discount for that as well. So. Yeah,
Question on California Fair. I've heard that somebody, I don't want to go to it, but they want to. You're supposed to do an endorsement. What cost is that?
yes. So California Fair Plan will allow you to add replacement cost or extended replacement cost to your policy, but the California Fair Plan only goes to $3 million. So you have to insure your house to value. If you're in Malibu and it costs $6 million to rebuild, you're not getting that replacement cost endorsement. But around here, you could typically get your home rebuilt for $3 million. And the Fair Plan, you get the replacement cost endorsement. But for us as agents, we have to send in, we have a software, and it's called a replacement cost estimate. So we have to put in your square footage, number of bathrooms, type of flooring, and we have to submit that to the Fair Plan. And if it's under 3 million and you're insured to value, then California Fair Plan will give that.
Are you insuring any houses that will be sold in Portugal then?
Yeah, that's hit and miss. Some carriers, she asked if anyone's insuring in Portuguese Bend, landslides and everything like that. It's hit and miss. We do have a few carriers that are still insuring. Mercury was, but I think they pulled back a little bit from insuring up there. But yeah, basically we just got to type the address in there, 20 different carriers, see if we get a red light or a green light. And if worse comes to worse, California Fair Plan. Yeah,
But Fair Plan also has a DIC policy, it's called Difference in Conditions Policy. So other carriers will write everything but the fire, we're talking water, theft. So you can make the policy whole, as long as you have enough coverage on the Fair Plan available in that 3 million maximum value, but these other policies cover the liability in the water.
you had a question?
So in California, even though it's not just Portuguese band, but even the area code 90275, it's already really hard to get any insurance because of the landslide. But
Yeah.
California Fair Plan can do it?
They'll do anything.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll do. Oh, and while we're speaking about insurance and hard to get insurance, condo insurance is very difficult right now.
What is?
Condos.
Condos.
Townhomes, condos.
Okay.
Condominiums.
Why is that?
A lot of pinhole leaks, and the carriers have seen big claims due to these leaks. And also condos on multiple levels, one person leaving their
Yeah.
toilet on, going down the bottom.
Okay, multiple, yeah.
Yeah, so we do have carriers for condos, but it's very limited right now. It's only like 3 or 4 carriers. And the problem is, people will buy, you have a bunch of single standing
Yeah.
homes, they're considered condos, but they fall in the bracket of condos. So they're looking, you're as same as if you had a 6-story building and water's just dropping all over the place, well, you're considered in the same family. Yeah, I had another question.
The insurance rep says, you know what, it depends on how much it is, I think they're going to renew it, and they're going to review you, so what is happening?
Good point. Insurance claims. We're recommending $5,000 to $10,000 deductible. Yeah, it sounds high, but in today's market, you don't want to make a claim under $10,000 to pay out of pocket. And it's just not worth it. And another question is, does that claim follow you if you were the owner at a previous address and you're buying a new address that had no claims, but you had claims at your previous address? Yes, it follows you.
Wow.
10 years. 10 years. Yeah, from when the claim happened.
They get wiped out.
Yeah, right now that continue. But so on the reverse side, say you're buying a house that had 2 water claims. Some carriers, 50% of the carriers look at that and 50% don't. So some don't mind if it's a new purchase. It wasn't your fault that they had claims there. But there are still some other carriers that are looking at it. So like I said before, we basically just plug it into 10, 15 different carriers and see which one sticks. And worst comes to worst, we got California Fair Plan. Oh, one more question. Umbrella, so umbrella is liability insurance. So slip and fall, you have a party at your house, someone takes a header off the stairs. Your basic policy usually comes up to 500,000 of liability. And this is important for any homeowner, condo owner, you want to protect your assets. For $300, you could get $1 million umbrella. 2 million is like $500, but to protect your assets, this is a true story. Our friend's grandparents lived up in Palos Verdes. They were driving down to Hermosa Beach, Maine with a motorcyclist. The guy goes down, maims his arm, sues the grandparents for 500,000. They had 250,000 no umbrella policy for 300, so they got sued for an extra 250,000 out of their life savings. They were 80 years old. They had to pay 250,000. So for a $300 cost on an umbrella policy, it's well worth it if you have assets, if you own a home, own a condo, get the umbrella policy. There's a question. Yes.
So I was gonna say, you said earlier that you recommended like dual panel. I mean, is that really like realistic, like most of your carriers like requiring that?
Yes. So most of our carriers are requiring all the updates to the roof, plumbing. You're gonna get a rate, $2,000 to $3,000 there, but if you can't get those updated, your premium is gonna be $10,000. So so you gotta weigh the cost. Am I gonna replace the roof for 10,000, the copper and everything, and put in $30,000? These things have to be updated, no matter what. I mean, if you have old electrical panels like 100% static, those are causing fire. And so all these things should be updated anyway. But yeah, it's gonna be a cost to do it. So either your insurance is gonna be low and you replace those things, or your insurance is gonna be high and you don't replace those things. But at some point, all the carriers are gonna require all these updates to be made.
You have to update all this, you know?
Yeah, 25 to 30 years. Question back here.
Wanted to ask, if for example, there was a vote to do something, I was the report to be higher. If there was a vote to do it,
Yeah, so like in that case, you get up to $10,000 price and then they'll upgrade in 3 months. Then you cancel that policy and get a new policy. With better coverage. Good question.
What's the most common insurance claim that you guys have?
Water. Yeah. Pipe burst.
Out of all your carriers, are you finding anybody that is insuring people that don't do their updates? Or is that just a flat?
No, we do. No, we do, but like again, the premium's $10,000 compared to $2,000 or $3,000. Yeah, or the fair plan. Fair plan will do anything. But I'm not trying to think about the fair plan.
They also, or they
They-
just go like,
They're paying, but they're due to the fires in the Palisades and Altadena, they've had to hire non-licensed adjusters to process all those claims. So do your clients really want to be with the California Fair Plan? Things are being held up. I have a client right now that renewed their policy in January. The policy renewed. They haven't received a bill or a new policy since January and March. And so they haven't made a payment, but California Fair Plan's like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll get it out to them. But like, when's that bill gonna come? Like, the client's scared.
yeah.
And so that's kind of what we're dealing with the California Fair Plan. Also wanted to mention about the rates of the Fair Plan. So the Fair Plan has a caveat. If you sell in California as an insurance company, Mercury, State Farm, Farmers, and they lose a certain amount of money, they come back and assess every insurance company in California that sells it in California for half that. So if they lost $7 billion, they're coming back to assess all insurance companies $3.5 billion. Those insurance companies can come back to the consumer and get half of that. So they're coming back to the consumer for $1.75 billion that they're going to come back to all of us and get. So it's going to be years. But they're trying to cap the rate increase to manageable. So 7%, 10%. State Farm just asked for a 22% rate increase. They got denied. So it's going to be years of increases right now.
Yeah, because they want to recoup their losses.
Yeah.
And they have to be copied.
In fire areas, yes.
Yeah, so the question was, can carriers still cancel policies that send out non-renewals in fire areas? Only fire areas, no, that's been rescinded for another year. So if you're in the Palisades and you got a notice from State Farm that we're canceling your policy, that's been rescinded, those policies are staying in force. We're far enough away here in the South Bay that if you got a cancellation, you're still getting canceled.
Wow.
So I know we touched a little bit in the beginning, so what should an agent be doing when working with a buyer from the very beginning? So that way we streamline the process, because we're seeing a lot of delays with escrow due to insurance last minute, especially in the coastal area. We're seeing a lot of issues with that. So what's your recommendation regarding that?
My recommendation is work with your insurance broker as soon as possible. Get them, if the house has had the inspection report, get that out, see what updates need to be made. Those are the two first things. Get quotes as soon as possible, make sure they're firm quotes. And then also look at the inspection report and see if the panels have been updated, if the roof's been updated, and those could be problems. Maybe your buyer doesn't want to buy that property, or they know going in that their rate is going to be 5 times what it should be if they buy it as is. So I think that's the most important thing, is just work with your client, get the quotes right off the bat so that they know what they can expect as far as insurance premiums. And also find out from the current owner or the seller's agent if any of the updates that owner's going to know if they've updated the plumbing or the roof in the last 20 years, right? That's a big expense, so they should know if they've updated those things.
If the house is completely remodeled, like many of these are, many people are flipping them or whatnot. Agents can get a quote, we can get a quote with a name, a date of birth, a phone number, and an email. If you want to control that account, that's fine. Just send us those pieces of information with an address. We'll return a quote in 30 minutes for you guys. So we have a lot of staff on hand. They're all licensed. Keith and I still do a lot of quoting. So, in 30 minutes, you can get quotes, like at least have a general idea for your client. We don't have to have all their information, just, some key points and get you guys quotes.
So I have a question.
What was that?
Who's the youngest and who's the oldest?
15 minutes I got on.
Talk to others, you say your competitive advantage is basically that you're a broker and that you can compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
And also, what about the companies that you guys work? You said you work with Mercury and so forth. Are those also highly competitive?
Yeah, they're competitive, and there's some new companies coming in, insurance carriers coming into the market that have a demo tech rating versus AM Best. So that has to be explained to the client as well. If you have a demo tech rating, some umbrella carriers don't want to go on top of demo tech, they want AM Best rated carriers. But that being said, we do have an umbrella carrier called Monoline that does go on top of demo tech. And demo tech, A rating, it takes a lot of financials to have an A rating. State Farm does not have an A rating in California right now. They went down to a B rating. But they also lost $10 million before. They just lost 7.6 billion, so I can understand why. But yeah, so we only work with A-rated carriers. I would say claims. A claims adjuster is trying to protect the insurance company. So don't take the first offer that the insurance company gives you if there is a claim. You can work with them. You don't have to get a lawyer, but know your policies. Like, so many people just look at their deck page and throw it away. Especially now, people should make sure that you're insured to value. To rebuild a house in the South Bay, back in the day, $300, $400 a square foot was what our software was saying. There's no way. It's like 600. If you're on the Strand, you're looking at $1,000 a square foot. So everyone should be looking at their policies, making sure they're insured to value. And a lot of these policies have extended replacement costs, 50%. So if you're insured for $1 million, you actually get 1.5 million. But that's also for you guys and the clients to talk to their agent and see what kind of endorsements, read through your policy. Just don't look at it and throw it away. That's the biggest thing I would say is, the consumer needs to understand what they're insured for. I mean, that's it. If you're insured for $1 million, that's all you're getting. Plus the extended replacement cost. If that company doesn't have extended replacement cost, what's listed there, that's it. These people in the Palisades, I mean, it's been reported that over 50% of these people didn't have enough insurance. They were underinsured. So that's a big thing. Review your policies. The last but not least, you want to put your family trust. If the trust owns the property, you want to put the trust on there. Anybody that's named insured needs to be on that policy.
The insurance company offer, what does that mean? For example, I had a fire. And my insurance company gave you whatever was on the insurance. So I should not accept that?
No, if you had a full loss, say, if you had a fire that on your deck page said $1 million, you can't get more than $1 million. But say it's your personal property and you had $300,000 worth of property, tables, furniture, clothing that got burned up, they're gonna want receipts.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Receipts or camera of your house. I would take a video of your house, go into your closet, take a video of your clothes. No one does this.
Right.
But if there's a claim, you're gonna wanna have some kind of proof. I mean, maybe you have 10 Target suits and you don't have Armani suits, you know?
Or your handbags, ladies' handbags.
Handbags, same thing, shoes.
Yeah.
Like,
Jewelry.
so if you have a lot of assets in your house, personal items, biggest thing, take a video of everything, you have it documented. Or photos, either way.
Can you explain the coverage? Let's say if there was a home that on title it reflects a 2-in-1, but it's now a 3-in-2 due to modifications. So let's say, I mean, I should know this answer, but just for clarification, like, let's say if that was damaged by fire, how would the compensation be applied? Like, would it, be applied as a 2-bedroom one? Like,
Normally it applies to the dwelling amount that was on the policy, and you can use those funds to, if you're maxed out, you can use those funds for wherever you need them to go to. But whatever those funds are on the dwelling line, that's what you're gonna get. Yeah, and then an adjuster's gonna come out and give you their estimate and your thing, no, I had hardwood floors, not carpet, right?
well, someone always told me, like, okay, if you have if it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom on title, and you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, let's say that you remodel, like you added an extra bedroom, someone was telling me like, oh, that bedroom's not gonna be covered. I don't know how true that is.
If you added extra square feet with that bedroom, then that could be a possibility. You'd have to, so if there are any changes, you gotta let the insurance agent know, hey, we had another. The insurance company still take it. It just have to be known. It just has to be documented on the insurance policy.
Okay.
They'll still take it. But a lot of insurance companies are going by what's listed on the LA assessor map as far as square footage. But those are reported. And so a lot of them will go, hey, well, this is what's on LA. And a lot of them are just insuring, like if you added 2,000 square feet, they're gonna ask you to tell the LA assessor, hey, we need to add these square feet. Without insurance carrier will insure me properly. Well,
Any last questions? Okay, well, Derek and Keith, thank you very much.
Yeah, we have business card. E2insurance.com. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Derek. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good information, right? Keep that handy. This is again part of your arsenal of tools, is to have affiliates and vendors that you can use to get additional quotes, right? Like AAA, like Mercury, utilize a brokerage that can also navigate and also get different perspectives and different insurance quotes for you as well. All right, well, let's continue. Next slide. Just wanted to go really quickly with some broker updates. I really want to just touch on the 10 bold truths that Gary Keller at Family Reunion was touching on. And I think it resonates with a lot of us. So take a photo of this and keep it close, because I think what Gary was emphasizing is really important for us as real estate professionals to understand, some of the things that we come across on a regular basis. So what? Happiness is a choice, right? You choose to be happy or not, right? It's a choice. So it's a circumstance that is a decision that all of us can make, right? So you can choose to be happy, choose to be upset, choose to be angry. So it's a choice. Number two, life is inside job. Life is an inside job. Okay. Number three, what you focus, expense. Think about that for a minute. What you focus, expense. The path is in the math. There is no try. I'm going to try. Now, take that out of your equation, take it out of your vocabulary. You're going to make things happen. What's that?
Commit.
Yeah, I will commit. Yeah, I will commit to do more business, right? Especially spouses, right? I'm going to try to be a great husband. Right? You're going to commit to be a great husband, right? And that goes for the ladies too. I commit to being great at what you do. Number six, life is not fair. Life is not fair. You're going to have challenges and obstacles, bumps and bruises, walls that you're going to hit. That's just part of life. That's part of life. Adapt to it, move forward. Breakthrough. Number seven, you failed your way to success. How many times have we failed? How many times have we been discouraged? How many times have you not exceeded the goals and expectations that you want, but you keep pushing forward? Number eight, we believe lives fear can't. Okay. Number nine, that was eight. Number nine, no one succeeds alone. Okay. 20, not individual. Championships are not won by one person, right? It's a whole team. Number 10, life is always the answer. Excuse me, love is always the answer. I don't have my glasses. It's the answer. Does this resonate with everyone?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next slide, please. A couple more slides before we close out. Let's see pictures, buyer needs and wants. All right.
I have a lease, a townhome in South Redondo, 2-bed, 2.5 bath, and unit, super big private yard for $5,450. Well, we can work on that. And I have a mobile home coming up in Gardena, 4-bed, 3-bath, island kitchen remodeled for $230.
Beautiful. Awesome. Anyone else?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a lease, 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, it's an AD unit in Long Beach. And it's 3,900, built in 2021. And so, let me know.
Vanessa.
Have a 2-2 Santa Ana borderline Costa Rica project coming up. It's in good condition. It's almost 500. If anybody's interested, I don't know how much she's willing to sell it with like
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Vanessa. Alex.
Yeah, hi. My 44 units, the reason I still have that listing, it's off market. The seller just called me, they just cleaned up the whole area, they tore down the two duplexes on each lot. And now it's 2.2 instead of 2.5, and it's got permits ready to go 43 units, so. It's cleaner, it's nicer, I just took pictures this morning, we got 2 investors coming in right now, but you guys have a chance. They are paying concessions, $30,000, so it's 2.1, each I even work, it's rolled in. Also, Maria Luna and I have a buyer, up to 20 units, no less than 6% cap rate is good. So if you guys have anything on market or you know, ready to put something in the market, let me know. Huh? For the bar? Okay, 7 to 10 million. Yeah, South Bay. That has no rent control too. The little picky, but he knows his numbers, he's got the other apartment. Yeah.
Okay, I have a buyer need, I'm looking for a duplex, triplex, 1.1 million and below, South Bay, South Los Angeles. All the way out to Long Beach area, Long Beach, even Bellflower, Paramount may work. So. Got that?
Just San Pedro. San Pedro?
San Pedro.
Yeah, that might work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Connect. Anyone else? Thank you.
I lease in Long Beach, it's 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 3,500. And I have a property with Hollywood Hills. It's gonna be 100.5 weeks.
Did I get right? 7.5?
Yeah, it's the 6 bedroom, 4,500 square feet, fully remodeled, just waiting on a certificate of occupancy.
Perfect. Cool. Congrats on that. Go ahead.
So anywhere between 2 and 4 units.
Beautiful. Thank you, Joanna. And what else? Go on, going to so, all right, let's continue. Next slide, please. All right, coming to bits. If I could get Steve up here, Steve, come up. Let's get Steve up quick.
Actually, before I even talk about this, the Millionaire Real Estate Podcast, I just listened for the first 2 or 3 days. Jones, who could actually be in the office or.
No, not on the office.
Or there'll be a presentation from Phil Jones.
Right.
If you've never heard of Phil Jones, oh my God, the guy is phenomenal. So if you guys get a chance to go look onto the MREA podcast, it's presented by Jason Abrams. You know, he's the one that narrates it all. You know, so, but back to the contracts. Again, every Thursday I have contract Q&A. The next day was Simon from 10:30 to 11:30 on Fridays dealing with contracts. So, you know, for those of you who haven't been on, you know, I want to kind of remind you, the premise behind my contract Q&A is not only to teach you the what part of the contract, but actually almost the more important part of it is the why part of the contract. Why, when you look at the contract, if you can't answer to yourself or to your client why you are recommending what you are recommending to be able to fill in the blanks, you need to find out the why. Okay, so as an example, if on the contract you end up, and if you are a listing agent and you end up receiving an offer that comes in today that has 3% listed under the interest rate cap clause, and you now are going to be making a recommendation to your seller that you guys need to counter it, you need to tell them why you need to counter it. And if, for those of you who have no idea what the heck I'm even talking about when I say interest rate cap clause, you need to be on that call and ask me, what does that clause mean? Okay, because you as a real estate agent need to understand. And I'm not going to give you the answer today, okay? You need to be able to come on the call and ask me, okay? But this is your opportunity to be able to ask anything and everything that you don't have clarity on the contract, so that you can then learn it, understand it, and then be able to explain it to your clients. So Thursday evenings, every Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. Thank you very much.
I highly recommend that you take the opportunity to do so. If you want to be a better negotiator, you gotta understand contract. That's simple. That's simple. So take advantage of Steve's classes and follow the following day. I do the actual contract classes, but I have various scenarios and different topics that I talk about. So again, thank you, Steve. All right, let's continue. Next slide. This Friday, we have Molly as part of our guests for the producer's mindset. This is Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning. It'll be on Zoom. Next slide. And I'll be touching on the lease listing agreement this Friday, 10:30 to 11:30. So if you want to know the ins and outs and how to navigate, it's a very complex agreement. I think it's a little bit more convoluted than the listing agreement itself. Join me this Friday here in the class. It's also going to be recorded. And if you cannot make it physically to the office, you can also jump on Zoom as well. Next slide. The Hue and Blue team is having an inventory creation day. It's basically prospecting, lead gen, That'll be March 10th from 8 o'clock to 1 p.m. here in the training room. So please take advantage. If you really want to generate opportunity, buy leads, sell leads, and come and join the group and start calling people. Next slide. Lunch will be provided. We also have our KW commercial 1031 exchange. They're going to be talking about this Tuesday, March 11th from 1 p.m. If you're interested in commercial and 1031 investments. Next slide. And this one I'm very interested about. Wednesday, March 12th from 10 to 11:30. Carrie is going to be giving you some nuggets in how to dream it, live it, and be it. It's an exclusive RSVP. It's very limited, so lunch will be provided, I believe. Brunch and learn is limited to 24 participants, and I believe it may also be recorded. So if you want to take advantage of this, please make sure to RSVP. Next slide. And then Fernando Diaz on the lunch and learn. This is what Steve was talking about, the Bill Jones information. Great guy, got to meet him out in Las Vegas, and just an eloquent speaker and really knows how to generate opportunities to get more yeses for you. Okay, next slide. And that concludes our team meeting. Right on time. 1 o'clock.